Hello, everybody. This is Maya Zahira with Psychic Protection Sanctuary. And we have gathered a little group of wonderful individuals together today. These are some of the members of Spiritual Empowerment Academy. And we're just going to do a casual conversation. I'm going to be asking the group just some questions about what their experience has been in the academy and in working with me. And they have not heard the questions that I'm going to be asking. So whatever answers come through are totally organic answers. And today we actually have 5 members of our academy with us. And we have Donna, Christy, Stephanie, Jenny, and Jessica. And I will do my best to identify who's speaking before they start talking. So we're just going to jump right in. All right, with our first question. Why did you originally join the academy? So for some of you, you joined somewhat recently. Some of you joined a while back. So think back to when you joined the academy. Why did you originally join? And what was going on at that time? And why did you feel like drawn to join with everything that you had going on? Okay, so we're going to start with Stephanie. So Stephanie, go ahead and unmute.
Hi. Yes, so when I originally joined the academy, it was actually back in 2017. And I had been going through kind of this like awakening time where I was getting to know my intuitive gifts and my sensitiveness to things around me. And I had started learning about what false light was and dark forces. And there was so much spiritual warfare going on in my life. I was in a very toxic, abusive relationship that I was trying to get out of when I met Maya, and going through like raising my son by myself. And I just knew that I needed the support and I needed the help to understand like what was really going on in my life and what was I feeling and seeing and hearing, because there really wasn't a lot of like spiritual people that actually knew what was going on. And this group, over the years, I have learned so much and grown so much in the last 7 years. And I feel like every year I'm digging deeper and deeper in this healing process. So it's just been amazing.
That's great. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. Okay, we're going to have Christy share next, and then Jessica.
Mine is a little bit different. I was in the middle of a psychic attack when I had someone say, this is what this is. And, you kind of need to look that up and find somebody. And really the only name that came up for classes that I could even find about it, because I didn't understand any of it at all. I didn't understand what it was, anything that was going on. And Maya's name was in her book, your book, was the first thing that popped up. So I ordered the book immediately, joined the groups immediately. So mine was more of just like not necessarily being drawn to it. Mine was out of like an absolute disaster going on. And then, so, reading the book and going through the classes and all of the, even the free stuff that was available before I could afford to join and everything. It was it helped me get started quickly and, you know, start to understand different things I had no idea of. And once that kind of cleared and got quiet, it was also just my journey in, you know, being a healer and learning out different techniques and just growing in I think it's been 2 years. I think it's been close to 2 years, and I've learned so much, gone through so much. And also, one of the biggest things for me once the first psychic attack calmed down was finding somewhere that people understood what was going on with me, because it's those things have been happening since childhood. And then being able to put that together, that is what that was. You know, it was a sort of psychic attack since I was younger. So yeah, so it was more than just one thing. So
Thanks for sharing. Okay, Jessica.
So my story is a little bit similar to Christy's. My significant other at the time was going through severe psychic attack issues, and I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know anything about it, spirituality. I had no idea, the idea of dark forces, never heard of any of that. And when it became obvious that there was something more going on, that it wasn't medical, wasn't mental, anything like that, a friend of a friend gave me Maya's information. And I was lucky enough to have a couple of one-on-one meetings with her, and then started using all of her free information from her YouTube, just hours and hours and hours of watching Maya's YouTube and diving in and really trying to figure out what it was. With her help, I was able to get that situation pretty much resolved for myself. And then after that, once things kind of calmed down, I realized, yeah, there isn't anybody that I could talk to about this. I can't, friends and support systems in my life for other reasons have no idea what psychic attack is. And if you haven't been through it, it's kind of difficult to believe. It seemed outlandish to me, even as it was happening to me. So, when I looked into the Spiritual Empowerment Academy, and she let me know there were other people who'd had other similar circumstances, I just felt really drawn to join. I felt like it was a place where I could be free and people would be respectful and understand, what I had been through. And then I was also really drawn to making sure nothing like that ever happened again and learning and empowering myself that way. But also being in a position to trust my own intuition about those sort of things and many other aspects of my life. So, yeah.
So powerful, everybody. Thanks for sharing so far. I'm going to go on to our next question, which is, what is your favorite part of Spiritual Empowerment Academy? Or what is your favorite part about working with me, Maya? And let's have Jenny start.
Hi. So I will just say that my favorite part with working with Maya has been that she is somebody who I can totally trust. She is the real deal. Before working with her, I had worked with almost countless mediums, shamans, different healers. And what I found is that they were all accessing false light. And that was really detrimental for me. And that was actually a way that the dark forces were getting to me, and it was making my situation worse. I had been under psychic attack since I was a child, and it really was starting to ramp up through my 20s. And I was just looking for answers through these different mediums and healers. And none of them had any idea what false light was. They didn't know that they were talking to, spirit guides that were not my real spirit guides. And I was taking this information and using it in my life. And so Maya is the actual only healer that I've ever worked with, who is the real deal, who knows about the dark forces, who can see through false light, who I can totally trust. And that has been just a turning point for me. It just makes me want to cry because she's gotten me through so many things. She's helped clear me of so many things. I've been under just a severe psychic attack. Like, so many awful things have happened over the years, and thanks to Maya, I've been able to clear all of that out. I've been on a healing journey, and she is just the only person that I would ever trust. And I'm just so thankful for her. I just thank God for her every day. So.
Oh, that makes me cry. All right. Thank you for sharing, Jenny. So we're going to go on to Stephanie.
So I feel like there are so many wonderful things that I could say that I love about working with Maya. But what I really feel called to tell you and to talk about is just the one aspect of Spiritual Empowerment Academy that's my absolute favorite is the hours and hours of our long distance energy healing sessions that we have audio recorded in our student archives and our student like Kajabi. I cannot tell you how much these long distance energy battling sessions have changed my life. And the fact that we have access to them from years and years ago and that they're still so potent is amazing. Like, I feel like every time I listen to them, I am getting a direct healing session from Maya. And it doesn't matter what category I click on, whether it's healing for my chakras, whether it's healing for my past lives or my timelines, or healing for childhood things, or we did a healing session for the mother wound and the father wound. And it's like every one of these healing sessions that are audio recorded, each time I listen to it, it's like a direct healing session directly from Maya. And it's so amazing.
Yay. I love that. I love those sessions too. I just love from day one, when people join, they get the entire library right away. They don't have to wait for it to be dripped to them over weeks and months, like a lot of programs. And I just love that you guys get access to all of that. And I love that you guys love it too.
Yeah,
Great.
especially I remember when I was in the thick of going through psychic attack and dark forces interference and just being so daily attacked, like putting on one of those healing sessions, whether I could consciously like focus on it or listen to it, just playing it out loud helped clearing my space and my energy field and disconnecting everything that was like attached. They're so powerful.
That's so great. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, Christy is next.
There's more than one thing, but the thing I love most about working with Maya is when I was in the worst part of my psychic attack, I knew that I could reach out through the group, I could reach out to Maya, and even in the thick of it, I knew that if I reached out and she said, okay, you're okay. If anything, if I needed reinsurance, you were always there for me no matter what. I mean, it would, and I knew that. So that helped me feel even safer, even being able to reach out and ask questions through the group or however. That was one of the most comforting things for me.
Yeah, that's powerful. Okay, Jessica, what do you think?
I could go on and on about this, so I'm going to try and be short and succinct with it. My favorite thing about the group, I'm a total nerd for learning, and I love how much there is to learn. And so not only do we have the Kajabi archives where I can go and, if something is just on my mind, I can go and take a look and look through those archives and look at the chakra sections and find out, more information about whatever it is that I'm wanting to learn. Or when we do our calls, I love that. I love that everybody is getting together and we're learning, and that I have the ability to be able to practice. I also just think that being in a group, that group medicine is just so strong. It's so great. And everybody is so kind. And it always surprises me how often somebody's situation will be completely different than mine, but we'll do oracle cards or, something like that. And their message is my message. It's exactly what I need to hear, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought that, I love that about the group settings. And I just love working with Maya. I feel like sometimes, especially if you're going through something really heavy, like psychic attack, or, whether it's a loss of a job, just heavy things that happen in life, Maya is so kind and loving and strong that it lightens the energy of the group. It could very easily be very fear-based and very scary, but it's not, because as our facilitator, she's the one leading the group, and she leads with strength and love that makes it okay, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, makes it much more peaceful and bearable. So I love that.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Such powerful sharing today. I'm just loving this and got tears in my eyes. So we're going to go on to the next question. I'm going to word it 2 different ways. What have you learned from being in Spiritual Empowerment Academy? What have you learned? Or what has been your biggest breakthrough? What have you learned, or what has been your biggest breakthrough? Okay, so let's start with Jenny.
I would say my biggest breakthrough has been in finding my own power. So that has definitely helped me through the psychic attack, through healing. It was learning that I had to embrace and find my own power the entire time, and calling that back to me, learning how to call that back to me, doing it daily, and I just vowed like to never lose my own power again, and realizing that I'm actually more powerful than what was attacking me.
And that's a huge breakthrough. And I
Yeah.
think even just the people hearing what you just said is going to be healing and a big breakthrough for people just hearing that. So thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
So Christy is going to go next, but I want to ask if Donna wants to share on this one. So, and if not, that's okay. I want to draw her out a little bit. So let's have Christy go next.
So 2 big things isn't just one thing. The 2 biggest breakthroughs that I learned are the most important are boundaries and grounding. Those are, if you can't do anything else, if you're wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, that is what I have learned through all of Maya's teachings: boundaries and grounding. it's like the essential.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got to know what those essentials are. Great. Okay. I don't want to put Donna on the spot, but I want to just draw you out a little bit and see if you'd like to share, even from any of the other questions. What's on your heart, Donna, about the Academy?
Oh, it's hard to keep it in just a few things, because I feel like it's really touching to me, because it means so much to work with you. You have helped me so much in so many ways. I wouldn't even have time to say how many ways you helped me. And the group, I can trust you, I can trust the group. I feel supported, and it's a non-judgmental. I feel like I can say, what's on my heart. If it's something bothering me or upsetting or anything, I feel like I can talk about it, even if it makes me nervous to talk, because I guess get nervous talking in a group. But see, that I can still do this here better than anywhere else, in this group. And I had so many things I was going to say, and I feel surrounded by your love and caring. I feel it so much. It means so much to me to be able to work with someone like you. I've learned so much. I've learned when I started working with you, I was under all kinds of psychic attack entities and malevolent ones. I had portals in my house. I had all this kind of stuff going on. And you taught me how to take care of that. You taught me what it was, how to find out what it was, and how to deal with it, and helped me to have the confidence to do this. Because it was, it's pretty scary. And like, oh my gosh, you just want to hide. And now I found out that learning from you that it's not, you don't hide, you just deal with it. You learn how, and you do what you need to do. And you remember that you are stronger than whatever it is bothering you. And the way of doing things, and how to use resins, how to use, what to say, the proclamations, and all that. I just love having all that. And the protections, protecting against the energy in the first place, and then how to clear it if you get bothered by it. It's just, oh my gosh, I had no idea, of course, of any of that before I worked with you. So that's been absolutely wonderful. It's just, and now I don't have those problems. And if I do, if they start to come up from somewhere, I know how to deal with it. And it's wonderful. I don't have to feel overwhelmed or scared. Thanks to you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Donna. That was wonderful.
You're
Thanks.
wonderful.
The feeling's mutual for all of you. I just love you guys so much. Okay, we have one, possibly two more questions. And so our next question is, what would you tell someone who is thinking about joining Spiritual Empowerment Academy? So if you were talking with someone and they were like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about joining, but I'm not really sure. And then you might feel eager to say something to them. What would you say? Stephanie?
I instantly raised my hand for this question because I'm so passionate about it. I would say, just do it. Sign up. It's going to change your life. It's going to help you heal things you didn't even know you needed help healing, and to help you to learn so much about yourself and be able to help yourself manifest amazing things in your life. Because when we heal the wounds and the energy and the things that are stored in our bodies, then we just feel so much better. And I feel like if there's things that are making you hesitate, making you not want to sign up, it could be things like dark forces and other things that don't want to be cleared that are making you doubt why you need this program. I feel like if you found this and if you're listening to this, just sign up. There's a reason you're listening to this. There's a reason you're here. And the dark forces don't want you to do it. They don't want you to clear them or to join the program. But you are meant to. You're meant to be here if you're listening to this. And so my heart would just say, sign up and heal and be loved, and let all of us love you and help you just go to so many places you didn't even know you could go.
I'm just over here with a huge cheesy grin on. And you brought up a really important point, Stephanie, and it's that sometimes negative spiritual interference can mess with, if someone is under some kind of attack, one way that they can be messed with is through their emotions and their thinking. And one thing that's targeted in the emotions and our thinking, the biggest thing that's targeted is our core wounds. So if we have a wound or a mental or emotional block about moving forward and like self-care, then those negative forces will come in and give us that strong message like, well, you shouldn't do this, like for whatever reason, you know. So sometimes the interference, like the blockage to doing what needs to be done, is actually coming sometimes from within ourselves, the ways that we block ourselves, but sometimes it's also coming from external forces, from those, you know, whatever negative spiritual issue the person is dealing with. That spiritual issue, that entity or whatever doesn't want to be cleared. So it's going to give the person the message, oh, don't do this, because it's trying to discourage any actions that are going to empower the person. Right. So you brought up a really good point. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. Okay, Christy and then Jessica.
I think for me, it would be the, you know, the reason why they needed to join. If it was about psychic attack, there's no other place to be. I mean, you could do all the reading in the world, but you need that real interaction, and you really need help. Like, you need assistance with it. If you have no idea, even if you have an idea of what's going on, you really need someone with expert advice and seeing through things. It's not that you can't do it yourself in the future, but if you've never done it or don't know, you have to have some assistance. And then, you know, if somebody just was interested in the spirituality part of it or just wanting to learn, then, you know, the free group, all of the free offerings, like all the lives, I watch every live that I can, because I learn something tremendous each time. Like, I always take something away from the free group and the free offerings every time. So it just depends on what somebody was really looking for, you know. And so, yeah, either of those I think is a tremendous offering from you to people who maybe aren't sure or can't afford, or, you know, so that they can get started. So
Yeah, there's definitely something for everybody.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you for sharing, Christy. Jessica.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that there's something for everybody. Whatever it is that you are needing, it's here. If you need that support from a group, it's here. If you're going through a hard psychic attack situation, you're going to find the answers here. If you're looking to be more empowered in your spirituality, it's here. Whatever it is that you need, if you're feeling called to do this, just do it. If you've made it here, you're listening, you just need to join. I promise you will be so much better off. The resistance that Maya was talking about, I had some of that joining. I had never done anything like this. I had never worked with any kind of intuitive. It was all very new and scary to me. And on some level, there was that like, oh no, there's no way this can't work. This can't be real. This can't, you know, and I just pushed through that and was like, what's the worst that can happen? I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. And it was honestly the best thing that I ever could have done for myself. I'm so grateful that I took the chance. So I would just encourage somebody to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I would add that in addition to people who are going through psychic attack and needing help and guidance, also people who are practitioners. I guarantee that if you are a practitioner for long enough, you're going to have a client or someone who comes to you who needs your help, who asks for your help, who's going through some kind of spiritual warfare, and you might not know how to help them or how to advise them. But if you go through the academy, you will be very prepared for any situation with your clients to help them, and also keeping yourself safe, because it's your responsibility to keep yourself and your clients safe. And then also for people who want to become a practitioner, literally there's so much material in this program that you could start off with all of the basics and keep going through everything and everything and everything, all of the content. By the time you're done, you really could be getting started in doing this work. So that's just an FYI. Stephanie wanted to share something.
Yes, I just wanted to affirm, like, if you're an empath too and you're feeling like, if you're sensitive and you feel it as being an empath, like, this program teaches you so many tools to understand what you're feeling and how to, like, separate that, whatever you're soaking up from other people and yourself, and, like, protect yourself. And also, like what you're saying, if you are a healer or you're wanting to go into healing work, if you feel called for healing, I know for myself, I've my entire life felt like I was a healer and I was called to do healing work. But before this program, I did not have the same level of protection skills that I have now. Like, to be able to protect myself and protect my family, and to know that, like, if I'm working with a client, I can recognize now what's going on with them and how to clear it, so that way I don't take anything that they're dealing with and take it home to my family, or to take it on just for myself, that I, 5-10 years down the road, I'm not going to have to deal with the entities or whatever I soaked up from clients. And then when I have people ask me to do clearings and work, because I feel like as a healer, the universe brings those people to you, that you going through all the layers of this program and learning all the skills that I've learned from it makes me so much stronger of a healer, makes me so much more confident in my abilities and the know-how to actually help someone no matter what stage they're going through. And it, like, all of the layers in this program are just amazing.
So Stephanie, I want to ask you a question specifically, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So Stephanie is a healer and has had a lot of training over the years, and training from me and from other sources as well. And from your perspective as a student in this program, do you feel like someone who isn't a healer, but who's brand new at the beginning of their journey, maybe doesn't even know how to even be intuitive, or even know how to be intuitive, how to tune into any of those skills, and who really hasn't had very much exposure to spiritual studies, do you think that someone like that could thrive in this program?
Yes. I feel like this is the perfect program for anyone in that spot. Because when you're first learning about some of this, the basic like things that you learn of, like, how to ground and how to protect yourself, and our, like, different, like, little skills that we learned that build on each other, like how to use a pendulum, how to use the oracle cards. Like, you have hours and hours of stuff already videotaped in the archives that are so easy, broke down, like, this is what you do and this is how you do it and this is why you do it. And then the handouts that are in there that really make it easy to understand. Like, if you've never picked up an oracle card or a pendulum or any of the other intuitive tools that we learn about, if you don't know anything about anything, but you just think that this is interesting, there's everything is made so clear, and it's amazing. Because even though I am a healer and I am, like, where I am now, when I think back to where I was 7 years ago, before I knew the things I knew now, like, I didn't know all of those things to the depth that I know now, and no one was teaching them the way you teach them. I mean, you can find videos about each of those things online, but not the way that you teach them, not the safe way and the, like, the protected way. not ways that are not infiltrated by false light and dark forces. Like, I feel like everything that you teach, Maya, and the way you teach it is also in a way to like boost someone to use their own intuitive abilities, even if they don't know what their intuitive abilities are yet. I remember we went through a huge thing learning about the clairs and like the 5 clairs, and like I didn't know what they were specifically or which ones I had. And so even now I can go back in the archives and watch those videos and learn about and figure out, okay, well, I am an empath. I know I feel things, but what does that mean? And like, what does that look like? Like, how do I protect myself? So even at the beginning stages of everything, this is the best program out there.
Oh, so great. Thank you. Jessica.
Yeah, I just briefly wanted to say exactly the student that you're describing, somebody who has no idea what their intuitive, gifts are, any of that. That was me. I wasn't into any of that. I had no idea, didn't even know where to begin. And it can all be very overwhelming. You could just go down those YouTube rabbit holes and it's so much information. You don't know right from wrong. You have no idea, what's been hijacked, what's authentic. And because you are just a natural teacher, you're also very patient, which I love because sometimes I'll be confused about things. You're so patient about things and you're very good at teaching. You don't just, some people just understand, you understand and how to relay it. And that is invaluable. That's, you teach us how to be advocates for ourselves, how to empower ourselves. So just wanted to throw that there.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay, Christy.
I just wanted to add one more thing, the difference between and the free information and the, all of that is great. But when you join the academy and having access to group and help and support, besides that, all of that, when the videos are recorded, I go back all the time and re-listen to my question, where my intent was, and where, like, I will remember Maya's answer, but I can also, when you're in the program, then you have access to always go back to that. And if you are like, I can't remember that one part or that, and I'll go and I do it even today, just from our last Q&A session. So I just wanted to add that in, that was something that I do all the time.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the things that's different, well, there are a lot of things that are different, but one of the things that's different about the academy compared to some of the free content on my YouTube channel is that with the YouTube videos, I basically just teach whatever topic is on my mind, whatever I want to get on my soapbox about, or whatever I see people are struggling with. I get onto a Facebook Live in our free group, and I teach about it. And it's always a beginner, like introductory version of that information, and then I upload it to the YouTube channel. So one of the things that's different is that it's always very introductory information in the free content, whereas in the academy, we go really deep. We start off with basic. So all the basics are there for everybody who needs it, but then we go pretty advanced in our group. Like we have a broad scope and a deep scope as well. But the second thing that's different is that on my YouTube channel, like you just kind of go through and listen to random topics. But in our program, we have an amazing archive of past classes and content. And it's all, I'm such a nerd for things being really easy to follow. I just nerd out on that. And so I got really excited when I found our new course platform a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, I think it was. And everything is so organized by topic, like whatever you're wanting to learn, or you want to go back and relearn something. It's literally like a filing system. And then you can also mark off when you're done with lessons. Plus we have our live Zoom classes. So you've got so much, you just have access to so much. Yeah. And was someone else going to say something? Okay. I kind of lost track. All right. So we're on to our last question. Oh, Donna, go ahead and share, Donna.
One of my favorite things is the Q&A, being able to ask questions, intuitive questions, and get answers to things that I've been wondering about for all my life, something that I want to know, or being able to connect with someone on the other side. That is amazing. I'm just totally amazed about that you can do that. It's absolutely wonderful. I can't thank you enough. On top of everything else that you do, and all the help, and you're like the most amazing teacher I've ever had in my entire life. And like you said, you're so organized, you think of everything, and then not only that, but you put out the encouragement. Every day there's some kind of encouragement, and it just lifts me up. And I see your posts like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I feel better now.
Oh,
so helps me so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's the power of being in a group program, is like you always have this energy that's helping you to anchor. So I love that. And then also, just for those who don't know, or maybe it's on my webpage, but just to be super clear, with the Q&A, the monthly Q&A that we have in the Academy, members can ask me questions, not just about psychic protection, but about anything. So Donna was referring to if a loved one has passed away, because I do it all. Like I do mediumship, I do life questions. It's actually really fun for me doing the Q&A, because like we'll have a question about somebody's going through a job search, and they have questions about their job search and which job they should choose. And then someone else is asking about their loved one on the other side. And then someone else has a psychic protection issue, and there's entities involved. And there's there's just such a broad scope, and it's really fun, like stretching myself by just going through all of those things in 90 minutes, answering everybody's questions. Yeah. And a lot of you have said that it's really fun to hear everyone else's questions too, because you learn a lot.
Me too.
Okay. Thanks, Donna. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to call on Stephanie, and before she goes, and you can go ahead and unmute. Our last question is just simply, is there anything else that you were wanting to share today that you didn't get a chance to share? So we'll have an opportunity to do that after Stephanie. So Stephanie, go ahead and share.
Yeah, so actually it's really funny. My question fits into that because as we were talking, one thing that popped into my head that I feel is so important to talk about is, even though we've talked about how much is in the Academy and how much you can learn, one of my biggest takeaways is also, because of the way it's organized, it's also able to take it in small bite-sized chunks. So even if your life feels super crazy, and like there have been times for me where I was like moving cross country with my son, or like times where I've just like, life was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't read anything. I can't watch anything. Like everything is just insane. And so I feel like no matter where you are in life, what's going on in your life, this Academy and being a part of this support group is the perfect place to be. Because even if all you can do is log into Facebook once a week and post something in the group, and we can just love on you and support you, and you can read stuff in there, like that's okay. Even if once a week you join class, like the way it's structured, it makes it so easy to take bite-sized small chunks. But yes, there's a lot to learn, but like 1 hour a week we have a class, or we'll have a thing, a Zoom thing that we watch, or a Facebook Live. And then the last week of the month is integration week. And so I feel like there's so much content in the archives that you can learn what you want to learn. You can take it as fast as you want to, but if you need to take it slow, it's okay. I would still just join for the support of the group and to learn what you can learn when you can learn it. So I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed. If you feel like, oh, this is so much that there is, I don't think I could learn anything right now. Just being in the energy is going to get you the support that you need to get in the right path. And then one day at a time, one step at a time. And that's going to make a huge difference.
I'm so glad you shared that. That's such an important point, because I actually do really go out of my way to be super flexible. Like, for example, people aren't required to show up for class. Some of our students are super busy. Sometimes people will join, but with their camera turned off, because they just moved and they're unpacking boxes, but they still want to be involved and connect with the energy of the group during our live class. And I am so cool with all of that. I'm just happy to have people involved in whatever way they can. And you're right, it is set up so that you could really dive in and just binge watch so much stuff and just feed your brain and become just so filled with knowledge very quickly. But for those who are busy, you can just take it one day at a time, and just do a little bit. I in my own life, I have the philosophy that if I just keep doing a little bit, and I keep doing a little bit, and I keep doing a little bit and a little bit, then eventually I've made progress. So I think that's how I show up with the group too. I just am here to support everybody, no matter how busy or present they might be. So that was so important what you just shared, Stephanie. Okay, we have Jessica sharing a little bit more.
Yeah, I just wanted to reaffirm what Stephanie was saying. I think that one of the very interesting and cool things about the group is everybody is coming from different places. Literally all over the world, but also different life experiences. Everybody has different things going on. And the fact that you are able to meet people wherever they are and teach them from there is incredible. Because I had no experience with any of this before, I was very nervous. It was kind of me stepping out of my comfort zone to join a group and a class. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to know any of the things she's talking about. I better get some kind of glossary, but you were so great, and you're able to speak to everybody wherever they're at and assist them from there. And I think that is so incredible. That I don't know where else you can find such a diverse group of people that are all able to have their needs met, to be able to share and learn. And, one of the other things that I wanted to say is, while Maya's amazing and is a great facilitator, there's also a ton of times when I learn things from other people in the group. That to me has been just amazing to hear how they've handled things, or, certain things that they did. And the last thing that I wanted to share was that I thought when I joined the group that it was going to be just for kind of psychic protection issues with the stuff that I had going on at the time. And it was super beneficial for that. But as I've moved forward and that's no longer an issue in my life, it has been so beneficial for me to be able to be empowered making the choices that I make, using the skills that I've learned with my intuition. Everything from picking a job, where am I going to move, relationships, that sort of thing. So empowering to be able to take these skills and use them in practical ways in my everyday life.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, Christy.
Mine's similar to Jessica's. I was going to talk about intuition and practice. And so even when I got to a certain level, there were just different ways that I could practice my intuition. I would sit back and listen to everybody's questions that they were asking. I do not get all the detailed information, but I was really able to learn to trust my intuition, because I'd be like, is that a yes or a no? And then you would answer. And sometimes I would get it wrong, but the more I practice and the more I practice, I just use the classes in different ways too. There's just so many different ways you can practice your intuition, and so it isn't, you don't have to practice alone. That was a really good way for me to start really trusting myself and listening.
And Christy, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So you're speaking about developing your intuition. How do you think that developing your intuition has supported you?
Well, especially after the major psychic attack, once I was starting to really trust myself again and trust in, that I did get to a certain level, and that it just helped me trust myself again. Like I know not to be scared or upset anymore. I mean, to a certain limit, but that I did know what I was doing, and that I did have these tools, and that slowly starting to practice them again, get back into the group, and just the group was always there. I could always ask questions, and that was very comforting to me.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay, Jenny's going to share again.
Hi, I just wanted to say too that it's one thing to read about the different tactics that the dark forces use against you, but it's a totally different thing to live through it. Like it can be very, very harrowing and scary. And I just can't imagine having to go through that without the support of the group. Like I can't tell you how many times I posted to the group just asking questions, feeling scared, and there was always somebody there to respond to me, and it just helped get me through the most horrible psychic attack, because once I started to heal from the psychic attack, what was attacking me, wanted to hold on stronger. So it was very difficult to wrench myself free from that. And I can't imagine going through that by myself. So having that group support was just very, very important. I could post to the group at like 1:30 in the morning, and there was just always someone there to support me back. And it, just that was invaluable. And I feel for people that are going through that by themselves. I would just never want someone to have to go through that alone.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Jenny. And we're going to have Donna share last but not least.
A couple of things. I agree with so much of what people are saying that I would be repeating it. There's so much, but there's about being an empath. I didn't know I was an empath. Didn't know anything about it. Well, I didn't know anything about any of this, really. I've learned so much. I can't even tell you how much I've learned, and it's helped me so much. By the way, my life is so much better because of this group and you, Maya. And not being an empath, I used to really struggle with why I felt the way I did, because I was so sensitive, and I thought there was something wrong with me. And why do I feel this so deeply? What's wrong with me? I'd be embarrassed, about it. And it's helped so much to learn what it is and all about it. It's helped me a lot. It's made life so much easier. And now I even go back and I go, oh, that's what happened when I was a kid. I used to feel this, oh, that's what it was. And all these things that I'm learning, I can do that with now. Oh, realizations, And then what's the other thing? Oh, and I really appreciate your sharing your experiences with us and what you've gone through. And because it's really inspiring for us to be strong and to do what we need to do, that we can do this. You give us that the desire, the support, and I'm trying to say the help that helps us realize that we can do this too. You can do this, and we learn, and we can do it too. So that really helps. And I love hearing your experience and your stories. They're so cool. Some are scary, and some are, just all kinds of different stories, and they're all wonderful. I love listening to your stories. So thank you for sharing all that.
Well, this has been a wonderful opportunity for sharing today. Like this has just been beautiful. Thank you all for being here and for sharing from the heart. And I'm going to just do a little announcement here. So for those of you who have listened to this point, that tells me that you are interested in this program, Spiritual Empowerment Academy. So the thing that I always like to tell people who are thinking about joining the program is to listen to your inner guidance. Listen to your inner guidance. Take a deep breath. Get out of your monkey mind and just drop down into your heart, into your belly, and just ask yourself that question. Is this for me? And you'll get the answer before you have the chance to overthink it. The answer comes before your monkey mind starts back up. So that's what I would say to you, is to follow your own inner guidance. And just like some of the participants said today, also remember that sometimes our emotions and our mind can get hijacked a little bit by our own blocks and by external negative spiritual interference. So really pay attention to what your true inner guidance is. And even if you're not totally sure, you can still go to my website, psychicprotectionsanctuary.com, and you'll find information about Spiritual Empowerment Academy. And you can read through all of that. And then there's an application, and you can fill out the application and submit it. And even if you're not 100% sure, you can still go through that process of filling out the application, because a really wonderful side effect of filling out that form is that it helps you get more clarity. So I do encourage you to do that. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. And so thank you, everybody, for being here.